What's the magic of boats?
It's hard to explain. It's one of those magics that you need to get out there and wake up in the morning with the sun coming up and the mist across the water, the ambience, the fact that all your stress is somewhere else.
The direct impact upon the business was what?
Horrendous. We couldn't grow the business, and at the same time we've had to lay off staff, sell off assets cheap, and basically try and find ways to cover our cash flow while this has been going on.
How many businesses are there like Port Medway out there?
Thousands. I mean, the good thing for Port Medway is they've been able to continue to trade, and unfortunately for some businesses they haven't. They've been forced to sell off assets that they wouldn't like to, and some of them have been forced into administration.
So how did the swaps thing work, or more accurately not work?
Well, as a result of the swap, which we took out in 2006, it effectively stopped us from being able to borrow the funds required to grow the business. Due to the exit costs from the swap, which are very, very excessive, it also meant that we couldn't move to another bank, which would give us the money that we needed to grow the business.
What's your view on the plight of Port Medway Marina?
I think Port Medway represents a typical client who's been really heavily affected by the swap. It was a business that was progressing very well. I'm sure, like lots of businesses, they would have had to make some adjustments during the recession, but we think it would have continued to successfully grow. It had a very clear business plan. It was looking to continue to upgrade and repair ships and boats that it would sell on, and that would allow it to develop the marina. And it had lots of plans, exactly how that was going to happen. But instead, any spare cash they've been able to generate has all gone towards the swap.
We had some experts coming down from London who apparently knew everything about these products, and they forced us into taking the product out as part of new funding that we required at the time.
Where the mis-selling comes in is that there was an overemphasis on these products are there to protect you, and when rates go up, and there was no real consideration of what would happen and what would happen to the money they have to find each month if the rates went down.
So David, what's the situation here?
This is our floating bar and restaurant. We've had it for about 15 years and very, very successful. We had to get to the stage where we need to refurbish the vessel. We stopped business so we could completely refurbish the vessel. But we got to the stage where we were probably 70% through, ready to with the finishing of the vessel, and we ran out of money.
What has changed in the world of Port Medway Marina?
Well, we haven't been able to grow as we'd like to, because we are paying nearly £2,000 a month on interest for the swap. It means that they wouldn't give us the funding we required to move forward.
So what are the raw commercials on this vessel?
I mean, when this is finished, we should be turning over about £500,000 a year, probably making £200,000 a year profit on that, which could be then invested into other projects.
And what would the investment have to be in this boat to generate that revenue?
To complete this now, at this stage, would probably be another £40,000.
And what are the chances of getting that in the short term?
No chance at all.
The real crippling aspect is the exit charge.
Yes, for us to move banks, we would need to pay an exit fee of around about £150,000, which we certainly couldn't afford. If we can't pay the fee, then we can't move to another bank.
Once we have developed the marina and produced more profits from the marina, we will come back and finish this project, but it's all a matter of time. Instead of this project being operating now, we won't have it operating for another 2 years.
Give me an overview of the plight that Port Medway Marina faces.
We're in a situation where we've gone back probably 10 years. We've got the work there, we've got the development that we can take place, the expansion, and funding has caused a major problem.
Is there any sort of claim for damages in that Port Medway have had to cut jobs rather than grow the business?
Well, part of their claim will definitely be damages, and that will not simply be the direct payments they've had to pay out, but also the way the business has been thwarted. It's not as if these were airy-fairy plans. They were very clear, they had the financials to back them up, and it's up to us to be able to demonstrate the consequential losses which would make up a damages claim.
If you didn't have the anchor of the swap issue, what would that mean in terms of timescale and revenue generation?
This would have been finished 4 or 5 years ago. So we'll be producing this particular compound. We'll be producing approximately £300,000 to £400,000 a year.
If you hadn't entered into that arrangement, where would you be now?
The business now would probably be turning over £1 to £2 million. We would probably have 20, 25 staff, whereas currently we're working with sort of 4 or 5 staff, and we'd have the ability to become a phenomenal success.
What one thing would make a world of difference to you?
Good funding. A bank manager will come down here, understand what we're trying to do, support us, and within 5 years he can have all his money back.